In July 2014, former Grassy Narrows Chief and Treaty 3 Grand Chief Steve Fobister went on a hunger strike at Queen's Park in Toronto. He did it to draw attention to the devastating impact of mercury poisoning in his community.
He was a fighter for mercury justice. Despite his health, he went on a hunger strike on Parliament to get attention on behalf of the people.
In October 2018, Fobister died at 66 after a long battle with mercury poisoning complications. But his fight for justice lives on. On Wednesday, members of the Grassy Narrows First Nation and government officials gathered for the groundbreaking ceremony for a future mercury care home in his name. His daughters, Emily and Sherry Fobister, were there to honor his memory.
On behalf of the Fobister family and the people of Grassy Narrows, who my dad worked his life to defend and fight for, we say Chimikwech for honoring my dad by naming the Mercury home after him.
In the 1960s and 70s, the Dryden paper mill dumped about 9 tons of mercury into the English-Wabigoon River system upstream of Grassy Narrows. Today, more than 90% of people in the community experience symptoms of mercury poisoning. The care facility will be home to 22 mercury patients and provide specialized treatment for community members. The federal government has committed $82 million to capital costs and $68.9 million to the operational costs of the care home. At the groundbreaking ceremony, Indigenous Services Minister Patty Haiju acknowledged what it took to get there.
This isn't the benevolence of the federal government sweeping in and saying, we'll do the right thing. This is generations of people fighting for this.
After the ceremony, the community gathered for drumming and a feast. Members like former Chief Raphael Fobister shared how mercury poisoning has impacted their lives.
Because of mercury, my brain is damaged, but I still remember the old days. I still remember when I helped to develop the mercury, the position paper for the mercury compensation.
In September 2014, thousands rallied in Toronto, demanding member compensation, an end to industrial threats, and mercury remediation in Grassy Narrows. When asked if the federal government plans to compensate members, Haiju said that's Ontario's responsibility.
Actually, there's a Ontario legislation and mercury compensation board that's fully run, and Ontario is responsible for that compensation board. I did tell Council and Chief today that we would advocate with them that Ontario comes to the table.
Members like Carla Cocopanance spoke about the pain of being disconnected from family who were forced to relocate to urban centres for care.
They often share stories of loneliness and missing their families, friends, and loved ones. I will be happy when we can bring our elders home to be reunited with their families.
The anticipated completion date for the care facility is summer 2027. And when the doors open, some of those relatives will be welcomed home. Sierra Buttons, APTN National News, Grassy Narrows.